Everything is Fucked, a book about hope. Author Mark Manson. Introduction. Everything is Fucked, a book about hope by Mark Manson is a thought-provoking book that explores the nature of hope and how it affects our lives. Manson argues that hope is both essential and detrimental to our well-being, and that we need to learn how to balance it in order to lead fulfilling lives. The book is divided into two parts, with the first part exploring the nature of hope and how it can both help and hinder us. In the second part of the book, Manson explores the concept of value and how it can help us to find meaning and purpose in our lives. The book is divided into 9 chapters, each of which focuses on a different aspect of Manson's philosophy. In this summary, we will explore the key themes and ideas presented in each chapter. Chapter 1. The Uncomfortable Truth. In the first chapter of Everything is Fucked, Mark Manson explores the uncomfortable truth that life is inherently difficult and painful. He argues that society's obsession with happiness and positivity has led us to ignore the inevitability of suffering, which has created a culture of denial and avoidance. Manson also examines the role of technology and social media in exacerbating this problem, and suggests that we need to learn how to embrace discomfort and find meaning in our struggles in order to live fulfilling lives. Ultimately, Manson contends that the key to a fulfilling life is not to avoid pain, but to learn how to tolerate it and use it as a source of growth and transformation. Chapter 2. Self-Control is an Illusion. In this chapter, Mark Manson argues that our belief in self-control is largely a myth. He suggests that we tend to overestimate our ability to control our behavior and make rational decisions, and that our emotions and impulses often override our conscious intentions. Manson explores various psychological experiments that illustrate this phenomenon, including the famous marshmallow test. He also discusses the role of social and environmental factors in shaping our behavior, highlighting how our decisions can be influenced by cues in our environment and the expectations of those around us. Ultimately, Manson suggests that rather than trying to exert total control over ourselves, we should focus on developing strategies for managing our emotions and impulses, such as setting up systems and routines that make it easier to make good decisions. Chapter 3. Newton's Laws of Emotion. In this chapter, Mark Manson explores the laws of physics as a metaphor for understanding human emotions. He suggests that emotions can be understood in terms of Newton's laws of motion, with emotional states following a similar pattern of inertia, force, and momentum. Manson argues that emotions are not static or fixed, but rather dynamic and constantly in motion. He suggests that emotions can be influenced by external factors, such as the environment, as well as internal factors, such as beliefs and thought patterns. Manson also discusses the role of feedback loops in perpetuating emotional states and suggests that breaking these loops requires a conscious effort to interrupt negative patterns of thought and behavior. Ultimately, Manson suggests that developing emotional intelligence and mindfulness can help individuals navigate the complex and often tumultuous landscape of human emotion. Chapter 4. How to Make All Your Dreams Come True. In this chapter, Mark Manson explores the concept of goal setting and how it can contribute to happiness and fulfillment. He argues that the modern world, with its emphasis on self-improvement and success, has created a culture of goal setting where people are encouraged to constantly strive for more. Manson suggests that while goal setting can be a powerful tool for motivation and achievement, it can also lead to a sense of emptiness and disappointment if we don't achieve our desired outcomes. He also discusses the role of failure in the pursuit of our goals, emphasizing that setbacks and obstacles are a natural part of the process. Ultimately, Manson suggests that the key to making all our dreams come true is not to focus solely on the end result, but to embrace the journey and find meaning and purpose in the pursuit of our goals. He also emphasizes the importance of being open to the unexpected opportunities and experiences that arise along the way. Chapter 5. Hope is Fucked. In this chapter, Mark Manson explores the concept of hope and how it can both help and hinder our ability to navigate life's challenges. He argues that hope can be a double-edged sword, providing motivation and optimism in the face of adversity but also leading to disappointment and disillusionment if our hopes are not realized. Manson suggests that hope is often used as a coping mechanism to avoid facing uncomfortable truths, and that this can ultimately lead to a sense of emptiness and despair. He also discusses the role of existential philosophy in understanding the human experience and how embracing the inevitability of suffering can lead to a deeper sense of purpose and meaning. Ultimately, Manson suggests that while hope can be a powerful force, it should be balanced with a realistic and grounded perspective on life. Chapter 6: The Formula of Humanity. In this chapter, Mark Manson explores the concept of humanity and what it means to be human. He argues that human nature can be understood through a formula that combines self-interest with empathy and compassion for others. Manson suggests that while self-interest is a natural and necessary part of human behavior, it must be balanced with a sense of community and social responsibility. He also discusses the role of technology in shaping human behavior and how it can both facilitate and hinder our ability to connect with others and form meaningful relationships. Manson suggests that the key to understanding human nature is to recognize the importance of both self-interest and social connection and to strive for a balance between the two. Ultimately, he argues that the formula of humanity provides a framework for living a meaningful and fulfilling life that is grounded in both personal fulfillment and social responsibility. Chapter 7: Pain is the Universal Constant. In this chapter, Mark Manson explores the concept of pain and its role in human life. He argues that pain is a universal experience that can manifest in many different forms, including physical, emotional, and psychological pain. Manson suggests that while pain is often seen as something to be avoided or eliminated, it can also be a powerful source of growth and transformation. He also discusses the role of culture and society in shaping our attitudes towards pain, and how modern society's emphasis on comfort and convenience can make it difficult to accept and embrace hardship. Manson suggests that the key to dealing with pain is to develop a sense of resilience and adaptability, and to find meaning and purpose in the face of adversity. He also emphasizes the importance of connection and community in helping us navigate through difficult times. Ultimately, Manson argues that by accepting pain as a universal constant, we can cultivate a greater sense of empathy and compassion for others and live more fully in the present moment. Chapter 8: The Feelings Economy. In this chapter, Mark Manson explores the role of emotions in modern society and how they are increasingly being commodified and monetized. He argues that emotions have become a form of currency in the feelings economy, where companies and individuals profit from selling experiences and products that cater to our emotional needs and desires. Manson suggests that this commodification of emotions can be both empowering and problematic, as it can lead to a greater awareness and acceptance of our emotional selves but can also result in a shallow and manipulative understanding of our feelings. He also discusses the role of social media in shaping our emotional experiences, and how it can create a distorted view of reality that emphasizes self-promotion and validation seeking over genuine connection and empathy.
Ultimately, Manson suggests that in order to navigate the feelings economy, we must cultivate a greater awareness of our own emotional needs and desires, and be mindful of the ways in which our emotions are being manipulated and exploited. Chapter 9: The Final Religion. In this chapter, Mark Manson explores the concept of religion and its role in human history and culture. He argues that while traditional religions may be declining in popularity, they have been replaced by new forms of belief and meaning-making that are just as powerful and pervasive. Manson suggests that these new belief systems, which he refers to as final religions, are characterized by their ability to provide a sense of purpose and meaning in a world that can often feel chaotic and uncertain. He also discusses the role of technology in shaping these new belief systems, and how it has created new opportunities for connection and community but has also contributed to a sense of disconnection and alienation. Manson suggests that in order to live a meaningful life, we must find a way to balance our individual needs and desires with a sense of collective purpose and responsibility. Ultimately, he argues that the search for meaning and purpose is a fundamental human drive, and that we must embrace this search as a vital part of the human experience. Recapitulation. The main topic of Mark Manson's book Everything is Fucked is the search for meaning and purpose in a world that can often feel chaotic and uncertain. Manson argues that the human experience is characterized by a fundamental sense of dissatisfaction and a yearning for something more, which he refers to as the uncomfortable truth.
He suggests that the traditional sources of meaning and purpose, such as religion and community, have become less relevant in modern society, and that we are now in a state of meaning crisis where many people struggle to find a sense of direction and purpose in their lives.
Manson suggests that the key to finding meaning and purpose in life is to embrace the uncomfortable truth and accept that life is inherently difficult and uncertain. He emphasizes the importance of cultivating resilience, developing a sense of purpose, and finding connections with others in order to navigate through the challenges of life. He also emphasizes the importance of being honest with ourselves and acknowledging the ways in which we contribute to our own sense of dissatisfaction and unhappiness. Throughout the book, Manson draws on a range of philosophical and psychological concepts to explore the human experience, including the concept of hope, the role of pain, and the importance of emotional awareness. He also critiques the culture of self-help and self-improvement that has emerged in modern society, arguing that it often perpetuates a cycle of anxiety and self-doubt. In essence, the book is a call to embrace the discomfort and uncertainty of life, to seek out meaning and purpose in our own unique ways, and to find connection and empathy with others in the face of the human struggle.